doctors who will, shine a pen light into a person that's supposedly dead. They'll shine it into the eye. If they can see yellow on the retina and the back of the eyes, then they know, the soul is gone. The person is really dead. When I was training people way back in the 60s, how to take out-of-body experiences, and then we called it astral traveling. And I trained a lot of people how to do it. Once they got through this yellow filter or yellow haze, then they were there. Everything's fully colored, natural, but brighter than usual. Then I know that they really left their body and they were on their way. There was something about yellow. Well, when I did a lot of study about the eye and the progression of colors, it is thought by science that, we have the purple rods and the color cones, that originally people saw the darker colors or the violets or, our world, the planet Earth, as it was developing, was kind of dark at first, so we had more of a dark vision. But as more and more sunshine, more and more light, then we could then take in that white light. And they thought that the first jump from being stimulated by sunlight to the full array of colors was the color yellow. Yellow was a filter color. And I've seen that again and again and again. Well, in nature, yellow doesn't exist. In photography, yellow does not exist. The only way you can see yellow or photograph yellow is, for you, in your brain, is a chemical. There has to be a certain, I'm not a doctor,
frequency?
But it's chemical. It's all in your brain. Yellow is chemically created in your brain. You do not have a color cone for yellow. You have for red. You have green and blue, but you don't have for yellow.
That's fascinating.
That's created the same way in photography. It's created by chemical infusion of the photographic lens plate, whatever. Yellow is a chemically created color. So I look back at these other bits of information and I'm noticing, yellow is a signal. It is a lens. There's just something special about yellow. Well, look around. If someone is wearing all yellow, or if there's a bright yellow car, how do you respond to that? Immediately you're uplifted. Immediately you feel this surge of energy or this interest. There's something very special about yellow and how it affects us.
So at the level of a near-death experience, if experiencers saw a yellow, maybe it is a portal.
Or a filter.
Yeah.
More of a filter or a screen or a haze. Yes.
And now, I know this is very difficult. Some of this is very difficult material to articulate. You're doing a great job. I want to talk a little bit about coherence and holograms with you. There's a lot of recent interest and data about what coherence is. A lot of people are reading about coherence and have become interested for the first time in that word and what that is.
It's like you move into coherence, you're moving into harmony with. It's like you're joining. It's like you're connected. Coherence is very similar to synchronicity. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, they're almost the same. But if you're, let's say you're in a room full of a whole bunch of people, and a particular speaker or person starts talking and gets everybody's interest, then they keep talking, and all of a sudden they get everybody's emotions involved, and the people get really, really interested, and then all of a sudden you have group mind, one mind.
Right.
That's coherence. Everybody has entered into coherence.
So for many people listening, coherence is not just connection. It's way more than that.
Yeah. You reach that harmony, that level. And we're talking here energetic level. We're talking here that mathematical formula equation where everything moves into coherence. They move into the same pattern. They move into the same rhythm. They move into the same pulse beat.
So it's like energetic togetherness.
It's like consciousness brings all of itself together with itself. So you don't have any disparate parts.
Got it.
We're together. It's like after 9/11. Instantly, we went into coherence in this country. We were one. With Japan, they entered coherence. They are one. Did you see on the news yesterday that one highway, major highway, is split apart by what happened? One part of the highway had sunk many, many feet below the other.
Yes.
It was torn up. In 3 days, it was totally repaired. You cannot tell that it was ever split or that it was ever torn apart. Those people entered into coherence. They worked as if one mind, one body, one soul. And that road was completely repaired.
Pretty remarkable.
3 days.
Pretty remarkable.
That's coherence. We say charismatic speakers can bring people together into one. Martin Luther King was one. That's coherence. Brings us together as one.
Why did you write about holograms and holographic science?
Well, it seems to apply as far as I'm concerned.
Would you explain it to the audience and how it connects? People will read it in your book, but it's such a huge subject now. What are you really saying about holograms?
It's like any particle contains the whole. Any bit contains the whole. Any image contains the whole. Any piece has the whole in it. You know, it's sort of like nature, if you will. It's like the seed has the whole. We understand this, of course, now in photography and the way we can send beams. We can take any part of a picture and we can send a beam through that and then angle another beam off in another direction. And in that little bitty piece of a picture, we can reproduce the entire picture. It's the same way with energy. It's the same way with coherence. It's the same way with consciousness. It's the way the world works. Any little bitty seed or little bitty piece of contains the whole pattern. The whole pattern is always there. I don't know how else to
That's
make
perfect.
that clear.
That's clear. That's 100% clear. So with regard to near-death experiences, how does your writing about a hologram connect to that? There's a reason you wrote about it.
It shows us the larger picture.
Okay.
Because in my book, one of the main things I'm doing with that book is I am establishing that near-death experiences are not any kind of anomaly, but are rather part of the larger genre of transformations of consciousness. So the first half of that book really summarizes my work with near-death experiences and does it in a deeper way than I have ever done before. Then the whole book shifts at chapter 16. The key is intensity. And then from then on, I complete my theoretical model of brain shift, spirit shift. Don't let that scare you, folks. I mean, the book is a page-turner, remember? So I go through brain shift, I go through spirit shift, and I'm showing what